We're ready to begin. Good afternoon. This is Kathleen Drew, Chair of the Energy Facility Site Evaluation Council, and I call our monthly meeting to order. A couple notes to begin with. Welcome everyone to our first ever entirely conference call for our meeting. First of all, if you would, when you're not speaking, please mute your microphones so that we don't get background noise. If we do continue to hear background noise, our ever present Ms. Aiken will search you down and probably mute it for you. So let's be careful about that so that we can hear the meeting in progress. A second thing is I ask people to introduce themselves when we arrive at that part of the agenda before we adopt the agenda and the minutes. Please pause afterwards between so that Ms. Mastro can make sure we get your name and have that duly recorded. We do have a court reporter taking the minutes as usual. So those are a couple of notes for today. So with that, let's begin our meeting with a call to order. Ms. Mastro, roll call.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew. For the record, this is Tammy Mastro. Department of Commerce.
Kate's here.
Department of Ecology.
Rob Dingle, present.
Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Mike Livingston, present.
Department of Natural Resources is excused. The Utilities and Transportation Commission.
Stacy Brewster, present.
Is there an Assistant Attorney General? Council staff, Sonia Bumpus.
Sonia Bumpus, present.
Amy Kidder.
Present.
Amy Moon.
Hi, Tammy. This is Amy Moon. I'm present.
Thank you, Amy. Kyle Overton is excused. I am present. Miss Aiken, Joan Aiken.
Present.
And Stuart Henderson. Chair, there is a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Mastro. Is there anyone else on the phone who would like to let us know that you have joined us?
Hi, this is Kara Warner with Golder.
Ms. Mastro?
Owen Hurd with Tuso Energy.
That was Owen Hurd with Tuso Energy.
Correct.
Okay.
Colin Stevenson, Ecology.
Mr. Stevenson with Ecology.
Chris Sharon, Grays Harbor Energy Center.
Chris Sharon, Grays Harbor Energy Center.
Mary Ramos. That was bound to happen. Jennifer Diaz, Puget Sound Energy, Wild Horse Wind Facility.
Okay, Jennifer Diaz is present.
Eric Malbardis, EDP Renewables, Kittitas Valley Wind Power Project.
Okay, thank you, Eric Malbard. Okay, I was bound to do that too. Malbardis.
Mary Ramos, Energy Northwest.
Hey, Mary Ramos, Energy Northwest. Thank you.
And Mark Miller, Pacific Coast Chehalis Generation Facility.
Mark Miller is present. Thank you.
Summer Trudell, Energy Exemplar.
Okay. Joe, can you spell your last name, please?
Trudell.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Mastro, I have trouble hearing you, by the way.
Is that better?
Yes.
Chair Drew, this is Sonia Bumpus for the record. I just wanted to let you know that John Thompson, our AAG, is out this week, but we did forward the call-in information to Stephanie Duvall, and she may be calling in at some point during the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to our proposed agenda. You see on before you either has been sent to you, or if you are on the Skype meeting, it's now on the screen, our proposed agenda for this meeting. Ms. Brewster, is there a motion to adopt this proposed agenda?
I move that we adopt the proposed agenda for today.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Chair Drew, this is Mike Livingston. I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt the agenda in front of us. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The agenda is adopted. Moving on to the meeting minutes. Ms. Brewster, is there a motion to adopt the meeting minutes from the February 11th council meeting?
I move that we adopt the...
Approve. We should approve that.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from the February 11th council meeting.
Are there any corrections or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the council minutes from the February 11th meeting, say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Moving on to the next item on our agenda, operational updates. Kittitas Valley Wind Power Project, Mr. Melbardis.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew, council members. This is Eric Melbardis with EDP Renewables for the Kittitas Valley Wind Power Project. I have nothing non-routine to report for the period, but I did just want to mention that EDP Renewables and the Kittitas Valley Wind Power Project is currently working on COVID-19 preparedness and contingency. We're looking at shift work and how we would structure things and shuffle things around to continue to be able to produce power. Because at some point, if the shelter in places get tighter, we'll be considered essential workers for energy production. So just wanted to assure the council that we are devoting a lot of energy towards those plans right now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Wild Horse Wind Power Project, Jennifer Diaz.
Yes, thank you. This is Jennifer Diaz with Puget Sound Energy at the Wild Horse Wind Facility. I have nothing non-routine to report for the month of February, but we also have closed the site for public access and recreation, including the visitor center, through April 1st, or I'm sorry, through the end of April. We are scheduled to open April 1st, but out of an abundance of caution, we are closing the entire site to the public through the end of April, and we'll reassess towards the end of April when we will reopen. At all PSC facilities, employees are to work from home if they can, and we're eliminating large meetings and travel, increasing our worksite cleaning and sanitation, and limiting access to our project buildings to only people who must be on site.
Thank you very much.
Are there any questions?
Yes, are there any questions from council members? Thank you, Ms. Diaz. Chehalis Generation Facility, Mr. Miller.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew and council members and staff. I'm Mark Miller, the plant manager at the Pacific Coast Chehalis facility. Not including today's current health and safety concerns we are all experiencing, I have one non-routine comment to add. As previously committed, on March 6th, I submitted to EFSEC staff a detailed accounting and status of the carbon mitigation projects that were required as part of Order 836. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Thank you. Mr. Miller. Moving on to Grays Harbor Energy Center, Mr. Sharon.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew and council members. This is Chris Sharon, Plant Manager, Grays Harbor Energy Center. For month of February, we have no non-routine items to report, and like everybody else, we are doing a lot of actively involved in contingency planning for the coronavirus.
Thank you. Moving on to the Title V Air Operating Permit Public Comment Report. Ms. Kidder is going to speak to that.
Thank you, Chair Drew. For the record, my name is Amy Kidder. On March 12th, the extended public comment period for the air operating permit was closed. In total, EFSEC received one comment from a member of the public. The content of the comment was outside of the scope of permit regulations. EFSEC staff, in coordination with our ORCA permit contractor, have drafted a comment in response to that effect. On March 16th, the draft permit technical support document and the response to comment were all submitted to the Region 10 EPA representative to begin their 45-day review. Following the EPA review, if there are no issues, the next step is to bring the permit to the council for final issuance. Are there any questions?
Any questions from council members? Okay. Hearing none, thank you for that. We will now move on to Ms. Ramos, WNP 1 and 4, and Columbia Generating Station.
Good afternoon, Chair Drew and council members. This is Mary Ramos reporting for Energy Northwest. Similar to other reports, Energy Northwest is also limiting unnecessary visits to our facilities. We're limiting business travel and continuing to develop staffing plans and telecommuting options in response to COVID-19. There's no other updates to report for Columbia Generating Station or WNP 1 and 4.
Thank you. Any questions from council members? Okay. Next on our agenda, Desert Claim Project update. Ms. Moon.
Oh, thank you, Council Chair Drew, and good afternoon, council members. This is Amy Moon with EFSEC. I am providing an update for the Desert Claim project. EFSEC staff continues to coordinate with Desert Claim. However, at this time, there are no project updates.
Thank you. Columbia Solar Project, Ms. Kidder.
Thank you. Again, for the record, this is Amy Kidder. EFSEC staff are continuing to work with the certificate holder to prepare for pre-construction plan review and related efforts. Are there any questions?
Any questions from council members? Hearing none, I have a couple of items for good of the order, and hearing all those great reports from our facilities, I was wondering if Ms. Bumpus would like to give the status of our EFSEC staff.
Yes, thank you, Chair Drew. Good afternoon, council members. For the record, this is Sonia Bumpus. I just wanted to thank the facilities for getting information to us, the reports and things like that in preparation for the council meeting, and being able to adapt to the teleconference, this being our first teleconference, fully teleconference council meeting. So appreciate that. So EFSEC staff are all in telecommuting status. The good news is that we have capability to basically do our work and essential functions remotely. We are adapting to that, though, and so I think this week it's going to take some time to get everybody fully adjusted to teleworking, but we want our facilities to and the public to continue to reach out to us as they would. The general main line is being forwarded to Ms. Aiken, and she can ensure that public and facilities can get to the personnel they need to with EFSEC. if they need our support. So we just want everybody to know that we are available and that we're working to ensure that we have continuity of operations and minimize disruptions as much as we can.
Thank you. The other item that we have in our good of the order is a resolution that all council members signed, commending the services of Ecology Council member Cullen Stevenson. And I would just personally like to say for the record that I will personally miss the great work and partnership that Mr. Stevenson has exhibited over his years since I've been chair of the council. And I know he is working among other duties before he retires at the end of next month. So we will miss you. And I am going to read into the record the council resolution. Whereas Cullen Stevenson faithfully served the Energy Facility Site Evaluation Council with great distinction as the Ecology Council representative from May 1, 2013 until January 31, 2020. And whereas Cullen Stevenson accepted his appointment to the council, serving with distinction as the Ecology Council member, and whereas Cullen Stevenson has listened to approximately 822 minutes of public comment, land use permit comment, 8,075 minutes of adjudicative hearings, and whereas Cullen Stevenson has attended 119 council meetings, accumulating 4,430 minutes of council meetings, and whereas Cullen Stevenson has been prepared and actively engaged in council business, even applying pro-tennis maneuvers such as the backhand to facilitate productive council deliberative discussions, dutifully bringing his ever-trusted water bottle and genuine smile to every council event he attended. And whereas Cullen Stevenson has been ever thoughtful of his responsibility to represent the interests of the citizens of the state of Washington at a time when the council was faced with citing the largest, most controversial and complex energy proposal in the council's recent history. And whereas Cullen Stevenson thoughtfully and seriously considered over 319,000 documents and actively listened during hours of public comment with hundreds of participants, including commenters adorned in chicken attire and comments delivered in song. And whereas Cullen Stevenson thoughtfully considered information proffered through multiple public meetings and hearings in Lacey, Olympia, Spokane, Vancouver, and Ellensburg, Washington, including holding 5 weeks of adjudicative hearings in Vancouver and Olympia. And whereas Cullen Stevenson has faithfully and respectfully worked with and in support of 4 chairs, 24 council members, 6 AAGs, and 18 staff members. And whereas Cullen Stevenson has dutifully represented the interests of the citizens of the state of Washington by providing insight into the energy industry and showing sincere concern for the safety and prosperity of Washington's most elusive wildlife species, often of the feathered variety. And whereas Cullen Stevenson has written beautiful songs in short periods of time, personally serenaded his colleagues into retirement, lending his unique humor and comedic support to celebration for retiring chairs, council members, and staff. And whereas Cullen Stevenson provided the thoughtful and technical input needed to assist his fellow council members and chair in completing the Vancouver Energy Project recommendation to the governor in December 2017. And whereas Cullen Stevenson provided exemplary service on the council and meaningfully engaged with EFSEC staff, fellow council members, and the chair to efficiently and expeditiously cite EFSEC's first solar energy project application, resulting in a recommendation of approval to the governor in August 2018. Now therefore be it resolved that the Energy Facility Site Evaluation Council hereby recognizes Cullen Stevenson's outstanding, unwavering, and faithful contribution to the council's siting and regulatory activities, and gratefully expresses its sincere gratitude for his commitment, dedication, effort, humor, and consideration he has shown over the past 6 years and 8 months. Dated this 12th day of March, 2020. And we have that signed below. So thank you to Cullen. We will miss you, and we appreciate all you have done on behalf of EFSEC.
Thank you, Chair Drew and Council. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with you, the EFSEC staff, and also with our partners of the regulated community. They have been wonderful, and they work with us really well to do the job that we're supposed to do. And it's just been a special privilege to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And since there is no other business to come before the council, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.